everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank you all for who are watching us and watching what we are doing. We are not here to be small, we're here to be big. And I got with me a lady who is very big. She's a powerhouse for motivation, inspiration. She is the Tridian Tridian Bourne is the CEO of Beauty Unleashed, the premier salon LLC, the name and face behind the Queen of Billions mindset coaching. She created this platform with the sole purpose to provide men, women, and children with an avenue to reach their highest potential and succeed. She's dedicated mother of two and talent registered licensed cosmetologist in the state of South Carolina. Her strong biblical beliefs, faith in God, and her tenacity is the driving force behind her accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the one and only Miss Amanda Salvary. How you doing, Miss Salvary?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. And you have the new book that has just launched. I'm excited for you. Tell people about your book that's available for purchase at this time.
Yes, so the book is actually a book and a planner in one. It's called Unleashed Action Planner. So I designed that book for the sole purpose of success. So it's a mixture of the motivation, the inspiration, telling you a little bit about me, how I got started, and everything that you need to go forward. So everything beyond the point of actually purchasing the book. Once you purchase the book, everything after that requires action. So we go into bad habits, we go into good habits, we go into the vision board, we go into daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks, we go into affirmations. Listen, it is just a powerhouse. So I compiled all of that together, not just a book, not just a planner, but it's a book and a planner in one. It's actually available on Amazon. It's available where all books are sold. Also at the salon in Charleston, South Carolina, 5075 Dorchester Road, Suite 2. So yes, Beauty Unleashed has books on hand galore. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million, Target, Walmart. It's out there.
Absolutely. You've come a long ways. I remember when you first started your salon, you
Yes.
started with a small group and now you've kept the faith. You have literally constantly not allowing hurdles, challenges to stop you from getting to the mountaintop. What has kept your faith so strong? Because you've gone through all type of and missed challenges. Sometimes with a beauty salon, when it's the first year challenges of trying to find the niche of who are your customer, your client base. Then it's like, okay, can I get over the 2 year mark? Can I get
Yes.
past when people saying, well, is she still here? And you got the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and you continue on going. So what's kept you going on for over 5+ years?
My why. My why kept me going. So I know why I'm in this business. I know my passion. I know my gifts, and that's important. And so because I know that I was called to do this, because I know that this is something that I love to do, I have a passion for it, and it's also a need. And that's also in the book. Just doing anything is okay. But when you're doing something that actually fills a need that people are drawn to and they actually are filled by it, that's why I'm still here. I'm still here because people need me. I was talking to someone the other day and people was asking, you just still the same person. I am, because if I change from who I need to be, when people come looking for me, they're not going to find me. So I know my why. This is why I am still here, because of my why.
Amen. Your why. So your why has gone from being a one-stop shop. Your book gives inspiration, gives tools, gives actual insight of what we need to do to get through their walk. Um, what has been, I guess, one of the biggest challenges in this 5-6 year run that you've been on? Because sometimes when people come with always new things, people say like, you've answered the why, but what has been the challenge? Because no one's seen you having a dark day. It's always high motor, high positivity, never a dull moment. What's kept you moving in this time, or
Uh,
what's the challenge? Is sort of like, man, that was a tough road, but I got through. But nobody knows what I been through.
that financial struggle, people see the peak over the water. They don't see what's under. So they see that big iceberg and they don't see what's under. And so financially, it was a lot to keep it going. And being that I was working on otherwise at the time, trying to build my multiple streams of income, it was hard. It was really, really hard sustaining. People come, people go, clients aren't satisfied, they don't like the area. A lot of different things played out, and clients left. And when you're at a place where it's just you to make the money, you got to be able to show up for yourself. I had to show up for myself days when I didn't feel like it, days when I was sick. Crohn's disease is something that I have been battling with for over 20 years. And sometimes I just, my body is just under so much pain and stress. I'm like, I have to push through. So the financially and, just that mental, just staying focused when the iceberg on the bottom is a whole lot bigger than what you see on the top. Just trying to keep it afloat financially, that was a lot for me because it was me carrying everything, but I made it.
Amen. You made it. You doing through a lot, and it's good to see you still shining, still
Thank you.
rising.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yes.
The reason why I can say that, she was one of our first year season guests. And so that's why we can always say, 6 years ago, we came into her shop. 6 years ago, that's when her shop first initially opened on Dorchester Road. At that time, we came in, and she said it was Beauty Unleashed. And she came with a passion 6 years ago. I remember her and her manager, we interviewed them, and at the time, she was talking about, hey, I got things going. The shop was still trying to put things in place. They were trying to get some things together, and to see how God has kept you, in
Yeah.
these 6 years, it's
Yeah.
amazing that we things have changed for the both of us
Yeah. Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
positive way.
Thank God. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Now, has their faith grown since you've been doing what you've been doing for these past 6 years?
So they believe. That's one thing I have to say about my children. Because they're close to me, especially the youngest. And mommy, I can't believe you did this. Like, you started, you didn't have this and you didn't have that, and now look, we got this, we got that. Oh my God, mommy, you wrote a book, you written another book, you're doing this, you're doing that. So they believe. They've been along for the ride. They've been along for the ups, they've been along for the downs, they've been along for those 5:30 in the morning till 2:30 the next morning. Just lay on the comforter, get a pillow. Don't forget your pillow when we're leaving home. Don't forget your comforter, because it's going to be a long day at the salon. Chinese food, Chick-fil-A, whatever we can get our hands on, cereal, oatmeal. They have been along from the beginning to now. So they believe, and their faith in God, their faith in themselves, what they can do has grown because they see mommy do it every day. And so they know now that they can.
Absolutely. And I want people to understand that what that goes through. When she says, the salon, she gets at 5:30 in the morning to open, uh, and that is a true fact. 5:30 in the morning, open the salon, opening it up. I remember Beauty Unleashed when we came, we were there, we filmed, we literally saw her open it, and then we literally seen her handling customers after that, and then literally going to the part where, hey, after we were done, hey, I got the whole day ahead of me. And I think that, what people don't understand, like, cosmetology, just in the hair industry, nail industry, this is an actual, it's a marathon. It ain't a sprint.
Mhm.
uh
That's
so
right.
what new things are coming your way? I mean, what else is left, that you got something new that we about to roll the dice on? I mean, what is God saying? Hey, you got to come with this. You came with the book. The book's making a lot of noise and a lot of headway, and your salon is doing very well. What else is down the road for you?
So right now is the motivational speaking. I want to put that on the forefront now. I want to take that off the back burner. You know, the book and that goes hand in hand together. I want to get from behind a chair and I want to get out into the world with what I have inside of me that, you know, I need to be, you know, get birth out there. Something that's on the back burner also is the table talk. So there are so many issues that we deal with on a daily basis, not just cosmetologists, barbers, you know, doctors, lawyers, just everybody, life on the whole. A lot of things get swept under the rug because they're controversial. A lot of things get swept under the rug because grandmama and granddaddy didn't deal with those things and they kind of go on and linger into now. So you know, I'm different. I want to start talking about those uncomfortable conversations, you know, the rape, the molestation, um, especially because that's in my, you know, I dealt with the rape, I dealt with the molestation, you know, I dealt with the you know, don't tell anybody, and you know, are you sure Uncle such and such did that? Are you sure? We gotta stop. And I really want to bring that from the back burner into the forefront. So the motivational speaking and the table talk. I want us to trash out those generational curses that are there. We need to start talking about that because our children are in bondage. And so that's something we need to free our children. We need to free ourselves. So that's something that is, like you said, the dice is getting ready to roll on that. It's in the making, definitely.
Absolutely, and we're excited. We can't wait till that happens for you. Launch the other two projects. That's something that's really going to make a difference. Now, being a Trinidadian in Trinidad, born in Trinidad, your mindset is different. It is not um, the normal American way mindset. It's like, I can have 8,000 positions and get 8,000 things done, and I'm not worried about if you say you're not doing it, I can do it. Uh, who is
You
the
already know.
who is the person that was the one who mentored you, or the person that gave you this fortitude to be able to keep the wheels spinning?
So I would have to say from the very foundation, the village. There is no one person. Now, my mother is very tenacious. And so I can say for sure I got my tenacity from my mother. My mother just keeps going, 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 going. She's 74 and she's still going. She has, you know, little issues and stuff that's slowing her down. But from the very foundation, from 6, 7, 8, you know, doing monologues, reciting poems, head of the drama, you know, just everything. It was the village. And so back then, especially in Trinidad, even now, the village is there. And I thank God for my village, mother, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, nieces, teachers. So it was everybody. Even now, I still communicate with teachers from high school. I still communicate with the administrators at CCI, Charleston Cosmetology Institute, where I studied cosmetology here, 7, 8 years ago. So it is the village, and they keep cheering me on, my children. So it's not one person in particular, but my tenacity, definitely from my mother.
Absolutely. Well, shout
Yes.
out to your mother who had
Yes.
who was the you always got some people, and you made a valid point. It's not one person, it's the village who made you the person who you are. And it does speak volumes of the village. And
Yes.
some cultures don't embrace village. Some people say it's individual status or certain people here there, but as you know, for people who have a descent of a lot of trials and tribulations, it is a village. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes.
I can speak about my village. Villages are needed. Village is needed for 2021. I can tell you right now, during this pandemic, if you didn't have a village to get you through, uh, I can tell you right now, you either could be something wrong with you mentally, physically. You need a village. You need that. You
Yes.
need I don't care what anyone said. A child needs a village to be able to raise them, be raised, and have those stones. And I look at a village as old school. You ever watch Mario? If you watch Super Mario Brothers, you always had those blocks that got you to the next stage.
That's right.
And
Correct.
sometimes it could have been that uncle that or that auntie. We already know the parents. That's one thing. It could be the godparents was another block that said, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you up." The auntie
That's
said, "Oh
right.
no 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 no, we go. I'm gonna pull you up." The uncle said, "Oh no, I'm gonna drag you up to this block here," and they're gonna say like this: "Don't look back at me. I need you to keep
Keep
going,
going.
and I'm gonna
That's
be
right.
just fine because you can always come back to this block, but I need you to go
That's
up to
right.
that block because we're waiting on you on this block. Once you get to the top of the mountain and you take a look, then you can always send us to come up, but you can always come back down if you do need us. But understand this block is going to make you get to the level. So I hope that helps somebody who's listening, is that the village mindset is something that's going to keep that moral values. Those are things, those are character traits that you cannot, those are pillars that are constantly going to
Yes.
build you through. So final thought, um, the minus in your life. We already know how you started, you became into this world when you were born. Um, what do you want people to say in your minus that what you did? Because your children, they've seen some things, they've seen a lot in these past 6 years, but 20, 30, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, that's 60 years, when it's all said and done, and you meet the Lord, which is a long time from now. We're not confessing next week, next month. But what do you want your minus to be? What do you want to say about you, Amanda Salvary? What do you want to be said at the end of the day for you?
She never gave up. She never gave up. And as hard as it is, I intend to leave here empty. I say if I leave here with anything that God has given to me to share with the world, I did not do my job. I can't leave here with things. I have to leave here empty. And I'm not going to give up until all is gone, until I am empty and there's nothing else left there. Nothing.
Amen. That is something to understand. There is a great message to echo what you said. Dr. Miles Monroe says the best kept secret. It's an actual sermon he did. He talked about some were the greatest treasures in the world, and he mentioned it's the gravesite. And he said those
Mhm.
are those places to where books that haven't been written,
And
formulas
it's
that
sad.
oh
It's
yeah,
sad.
it
It's
is
sad.
is
It's
very
really sad.
sad. And he
Mhm.
did he did mention what you said. He said when it's all said and done, I want to be when they open up my casket, my grave, that there's nothing left. I've poured out everything possible. I've done everything that God told me to do. And that's what I want everyone who's listening to us. If God given you something, then it's bigger than what you have in your realm or around you, then it's a God move. So you say, Father, use me. Um,
Yes.
give me all, let me have the strength, the wisdom, um, the proper connections, lead and guide me to fulfill your purpose. Because when it's all said and done, when you hear that thy good and faithful servant, it's not just something to say, oh, I'm pumping my chest or I'm
Mhm.
yelling, I'm screaming. Is
Mhm.
that you just crying because you say to yourself, man, I really heard and I really answered the call. And that's
Yes.
something that people don't get, is that when you really are walking in your purpose, and God knows you're in your purpose, then you got time, and
Yes.
you're doing that, and that's what people don't
Yeah.
get, because time is valuable, and let's not take this time lightly. So you've heard
Yeah.
it first, the Logan Power Show. Remember this name, Amanda Salvary, Beauty Unleashed. Remember what she's doing. Remember her book. Many to more to come. Motivational speaker, coach, mother. She's a revolutionary. She's doing some great things. So I want y'all to keep watching, keep tuned in. That's all the time I got. My name is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide world, the nationwide worldwide. Miss Amanda Salvary. We appreciate you. We love y'all. We'll see you soon.
Oh, see, can you see that the dawn's early light would so proudly we hailed at those twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the.
Hello, dear friends. This is Angelina Istavkov, and I want to tell you a little bit about our book and our story. So, as you already know, Kirill and I, we come from Bulgaria, Eastern Europe, and we've been in America already like 7 years. And God sent us in America for the revival. And what is the book about? I really just want to give you just a little idea. It's about our story, how we received the Lord, and how God's been leading us in our life and our encounters with Jesus. So I really recommend you to get a copy, because it's going to inspire you. It's going to bring you even closer in closer relationship with Jesus Christ. But just to mention a few things of what is inside and what is the story about. So one of the things that really is going to bless you is the story when my husband Kirill was taken to heaven, and God showed him, Jesus showed him beautiful, wonderful places there, but also he called him in ministry there, and he talked to him about how he called him to be a prophet. And he was sitting on one table with Jesus, and Jesus was talking to him, but Kirill was hiding. He was afraid to look at his face, and Jesus said, Kirill, lift up your head and look at me. And Kirill said, God, but I'm a sinful man, and I don't deserve to look at your face. And Jesus told him, whoever I've forgiven is forgiven indeed. I want you to look at me. And then the Lord spoke to him very encouraging and giving him vision for what is going to come next in his ministry, what we see actually now fulfilling in our life. But I believe it is going to be very encouraging for you. And as Christians, we are going through very difficult difficult moments, and we go through deserts and wilderness. And some a part of this story is like how we had to believe the Lord for His promises when there was no any like our circumstances were talking against that. It wasn't what God was speaking, and we still had to believe God and persevere through persecution. We persevered through civil war, and while we were missionaries in Macedonia for 19 years. This is back in Europe again. So also I share a little bit about how to deal with witchcraft in the church, and how to recognize the voice of the Father, and how not to be deceived by other voices, and how to know when God speaks and when the devil speaks, even through people. So this is like another experience that I wanted to talk about, and I share it in my book, and many people been blessed, and I receive a lot of emails and feedback about how this story really inspired many people, and helped them to in their personal walk with Jesus, and how to have discernment, which we really need in these last days. So another story is also how we came in America. When the Lord spoke to us about bringing us in America for the revival, was 10 years before we actually did it. And we thought, okay, God is giving us a promise, and it's going to be just a short time, and we are getting in our promised land. But guess what? 10 years look like a long time, especially when we didn't know even one American person in that time. But again, our God is faithful. And the title is God Spoke and He Fulfilled It, because we wanted to tell the Christians and the people of God that God is faithful. He never changes His mind, and every promise that He has given you for your life, you're going to see it fulfilled. Doesn't matter how long time it's going to take. God is faithful. He's not going to change His mind about you. He loves you, and His plans for you will stay, and He's going to pursue you and chase you with your calling until you get in the alignment with His will and fulfill it. So be encouraged, people of God. This is really a story that's going to inspire you, and you can get additional information how you can get a copy. But I just wanted to give you just update and to tell you what is new in our ministry. So be encouraged and contact us to get a copy. God bless you.